Unfortunately, the people who owned the house previously smoked. And there's no way you can miss the huge smoke odor that you smell when you come through the door. She must have left us this painting. My wife liked some of her things. There's old radiators throughout the house. This is what first sold me about the house, was these beautiful mantles. I just think they're, where do you get something that looks like that? The ceilings and the crowns and just all the woodwork detail. It's a shame to demo this entire place. I'm gonna start off with demoing the kitchen and a couple of bedrooms upstairs. And I wanna see what's behind the walls. I kinda need to see the bones of the house. You can see when you look at the outlets and stuff, there's no ground. It's only a two-prong. This entire room just has two outlets in it. That light fixture, I happen to think it's butt ugly. Who knows if it has any value or not? I don't see it staying in my house. This room here, this is the living room we're just in, is called the south parlor. This is the north parlor. The ceiling is leather embossed, I am told. At this point, I know nothing about that. Big, giant, ornate chandelier in this room. This might be Janet and I's temporary kitchen and living room, because at some point we're going to have to work in here and live in here while the work's going on at the same time. Again, another one of those great big floor heaters. Beautiful mantle again. I would bet you at one time the mantle from the south parlor and the north parlor were identical, because the bottoms are very close, and they are truly spectacular, and I will learn more about them with time. My wife loved this table, and the previous owners left it for us. They are very, very nice people. We're very happy, that we got this property. Again, this room has a whopping 2 outlets in it. Both the north and south parlor have pocket doors. They say they're operational. I don't know for sure if they are or aren't. Yep, they are. It shows you how long since they've been opened because of the dirt that's on them. The great big center staircase upstairs. Height of the banister handrail is too low, but we'll figure out what we're gonna do about that next. Interesting thing about a house like this is that it has no coat closets. Nowhere in this whole entry area is there a closet to put any coats and hats of your guests. This room here, it's in really rough shape. The ceiling is literally, cracking and falling apart. Kind of has a ornate fireplace mantle. This is a working wood stove. Another radiator behind the door. Going back to this living room, the north parlor, I should call it. There's no radiator in here. There's no radiator in the south parlor. There's this great one, big one in the hallway, and the 2 floor heaters in either room. So that's another yet to be determined item. This room here has a good sized radiator, nice windows. This little bump out area, that door goes to that front parlor. The family was using this room for their family room. This was their TV space. Nice bank of 5 windows. And this is that room from the outside that I said I didn't know whether we would be keeping or not. And we're gonna have to open this up and see what we got going in here. It's hard to know what to do with this. This is really very heavy duty. I think we'll probably be saving that. Can't say that I love it, but it's not bad. This is the small pantry. I have visions of turning this into a powder room, a guest bath. Just a little powder room bath on the main floor. I'm just not sure how the floor plan of this is going to work out. The light switches and such are so old. There's a outlet with a ground, and there's one other outlet in the room with no ground, and an outlet in the floor. A lot of oddities, So this is the kitchen, and I don't know, you can kind of feel that this room is very dark. The paint color is dark, and so on. It doesn't seem to have enough natural light. It's built in there. They left us a refrigerator. They left us a stove. There's a great big closet here. That doorway there goes upstairs. That's a staircase, back staircase to the second floor. And that door there goes to the bathroom. And then there's a great big pantry here. This is, remember when I showed you the ice box on the back of the house? That is right on the other side of this. A lot of pipes, probably feeding radiators upstairs, feeding the bathroom upstairs. Everything in here, I assume, has some aspect of lead paint. That box right there is a chimney chase. We'll be just tearing this all out and doing something else with it. Probably getting some larger, bigger glass in here. This back little vestibule hallway, it's so reminiscent of something you would find in a house 100 years ago. A place to sit down and take off your boots, but I don't see it being part of a house for Janet and I. I think, I have visions of a modern, usable kitchen. I said earlier, Janet and I are gonna have to set up a temporary kitchen somehow in this space. Not in this space, but somewhere in this house, because we're gonna need to live here at some point. You can tell if you look at something like that there's likely several layers of flooring underneath there. I would bet you at least a portion of it is asbestos. This door is really rather unbelievable. The hinges are magnificent though. Where do you get something like that nowadays, huh? I don't know. I sure would like to incorporate some of this stuff, but I'm not really sure how. I spent $700,000 on the property. It is about 2 acres. All 3 floors is about 4,000 feet. This hallway it goes to the dining room. Now, back in the day, again, this was the south dining room over here, and this was the north dining room here. Has a wet sink right here. I'm not sure if it's operable. It's in a hallway. It might make a cool little bar. This room here, definitely, you know, I can feel the floor kind of step up a few inches as I go. Another fireplace, very basic mantle, some more built-ins. I surely like to save those. Radiator. The floor is a mixture of oak around the perimeter, and I believe this is fir in the middle. Classic Yankee stuff where they finish the edges but not the middle. One outlet with a ground. Woohoo! In the wall. Some kind of funky outlet in the floor. An outlet over there. Ooh, an outlet over there. We have 3 outlets in here. Oh, there's more up top here on top of the mantle too. This is going to be my office temporarily while we build the house. I plan to clean it and paint it and put a put a rug on the floor and just use it the best I can. It'll get new windows just like every other room in the house. This is the back sides of those closets. So those closets in the kitchen back up to this room. That's the bottom side of the staircase. This built-in here doesn't have much going for it. This door doesn't even open. This is the door that goes, I pointed it out earlier, that's the wood thing, and I think that we're going to be wrapping that deck over here and making this door operable. And I envision all of this hallway. That wall over there backs up to the pantry, and that wall here backs up to the kitchen. This room does have a coat closet, which is, I guess, better than nothing. There isn't another coat closet that I can think of in this whole entire space. You know, this is something that I would see that my grandfather would have made, and he's been gone for, God, probably 45 years or so. That's exactly his style of construction detail. You know, old, functional Yankee stuff. Big problems down here is, you know, lead, asbestos. Certainly the budget's a concern for me. If I can get this done for $300,000-$400,000, I'll be tickled pink. My wife and I were talking about the potential for putting a coat closet in this wall here, which is, you know, the entry. But that's the common wall with the little wet sink, and certainly can't fit a coat closet underneath the stairs. I'm sure we'll figure out something with the help of our architect friend, Sarah Khan. So we have this main stair, and this is where I fell in love with this house, frankly. When I walked in here and I saw this fireplace, and I saw that fireplace, and I saw this stairway, and the woodworks, and the leather embossing, and the radiators, I was sold on contact after looking at, you know, dozens upon dozens of modern construction, colonial casing, hollow core masonite doors. I was just thrilled with a house that has some, I don't know, some style, a little something going for it, you know? Bullseyes, windows over the doors up here. This is the second floor landing. There's 4 bedrooms and a sitting room. That's the primary bedroom. Second bedroom up there in that door. Third bedroom in that door. Fourth bedroom in this door. This is the green room. Pretty rough shape. You know, everything's dirty, smoky, stinky. Windows don't work. Everything's painted shut, falling apart. Smells to the high heavens. This room does have a radiator. You know, you can tell how much smoke is in here when you kind of look at the patina, we'll call it, of this door casing. And it's just covered, it's just dripping tar and nicotine. Beautiful old doors though, that I desperately want to save and reuse. There's just no getting it back. Somehow, I want to work these little windows into it. This is the second floor landing or hallway, if you want to call it. Primary bedroom that mirrors that little bump out that's in the family room or south dining room, if you will. And we'll find a way to incorporate that. I'll probably take that window box, trim, seat, whatever you want to call it, out. Do something a little fancier than that. Replace the windows, walk-in master closet, which is woefully insufficient for my wife. A little built-in shelf kind of thing. Again, these little boxes, I'll have to read up on these. These must have something to do with the chimney and the fireplace and so on. Oak flooring in this room. One outlet over there. Another outlet over here. No grounds. No overhead light fixture. It does have a radiator. Yeah, so there's 3 ungrounded plugs in here. I'm not sure the status of this fireplace. This door goes to an adjoining closet in the front bedroom. That's the door in the primary bedroom. Very strange location for a radiator. Don't understand that one, but I suppose we'll find out. Shelves. I think we're gonna find that there's different trims in this house. I haven't really had the time to look at it. So this is the front bedroom. Again, you know, really stand up from the tar and nicotine. Frankly, being in here for the half an hour or so I've been in here, gives me a little nausea. This doorway here goes to the front sitting room. I'm gonna be taking that door out for sure. But great big windows. We're gonna strip the trim off of a few of these and get some true sizes, some true RO sizes, so that I can get the maximum amount of window into each opening. Painted floors, small clothes closet. You know, I guess in 1890s, didn't have a ton of apparel. I mean, it's still big space, but probably fit most of my clothes, to be honest with you. Wonderful doors. Just, you know, I mean, to most people, a door's a door, but I look at that and I see solid wood, a glass knob, you know, the fluted trims, plinth blocks, or bullseyes, or whatever you want to call them. All of these door window things have these mechanical items that must have opened and closed them, long since painted over. But we'll see what we can do with that. This is going to be my wife's prayer room. My wife likes to get up early in the morning and sit and reflect and pray and just have her quiet time. And this is the space that she's going to do it. And to be honest with you, I am going to take this door out and this door out, but everything else in this room, I am going to leave as is. New windows, of course, new ceilings, walls. I'm gonna refinish this floor because it's magnificent. And yeah, it's beat to death, but I'll see what I can do. The walls are just horrendous, and I don't think there's any insulation any place. And so I just think we'll straighten her away and do what we gotta do. This is the front bedroom. Three big windows, radiator. It has 2 closets, but I believe that's because somebody stole one of the closets from the middle bedroom. 1 outlet, 2 outlets, and a cable TV. Again, classic Yankee crapola, where they only painted the edges and put a area rug in the middle. I think what they're going to be going back, at least at this point, the thought is that we're going to be putting in wide pine floors. Good sized closet with a built-in. Another one of these radiators. I don't know, I don't get that yet, but maybe I will. There is a fireplace, so maybe that's something that just tries to pick heat off the flue. Wow, this is a very unusual closet. And that's probably the chimney in there. I don't know, that one's a strange space. Strange space. Another very old light fixture. I doubt that these are hardwired smokes. There's a couple of smokes in this hallway. Matter of fact, at today's closing, I don't think I seen a smoke detector permit. That door has etched glass in it. Quite nice. Another closet. Again, it's part of underneath the stairs. This room back here, they called it an office. We'll show you that in a minute. This here is a huge linen closet. It's probably 4.5 or so feet deep, 3 or 4 feet wide. Nothing really very nice about it. A bathroom that's probably 1960s or so. You can kind of tell because of the mud cap that's here and how deep that is. Ceramic tile's in good shape, other than it is 1960s decoration. Vanity's toast. You know, will it function for a little while as a working bathroom for us? It sure will, you know. But this is gonna eventually I believe, become part of the master bedroom closet. These 3 doors on this side are going to become the master suite, and there may be 1 or 2 doors, but not 3 doors servicing that space off this hallway. There's just too many doors, and it's not anything we need, and we definitely need to have a master bath, and we definitely need more closet space, and so on. So back here, this bathroom, at least at this point, is going to get incorporated into the master suite and become part of the closets. This linen closet here is going to get eliminated or shortened up to a normal linen closet depth of 1 foot or 1.5 feet. And this room here that used to be an office is going to get demoed out and turned into a bathroom and a laundry room. Has a radiator, has an outlet. This behind here is a chimney. It kind of goes off at an angle, which is very cool. Kind of like that. A built-in dresser, and so on. This is the landing for the stairway. If you take these stairs down, they go to the kitchen. If you take these stairs up, they go to the 3rd floor, which is just a absolutely amazing space. Now this is very old, very untouched. Not a whole heck of a lot been done up here in a long time. So you come into this landing, you got a big hallway here, heads off in that direction. This is one of the smaller rooms up here. And I think Jan and I are going to be using one of these rooms for kind of a temporary closet. So we will clean it and paint it and put some vinyl shelves in here on a temporary basis and just use it for a temporary closet, because we have a lot of stuff and we have no place to put it. I don't think we'll do very much to this hallway. Right off the bat, it's in really rough shape. It's old plaster lath. There's a small little room in here. I know it's pretty hard to see. It's in rough shape. And then there's 3 good-sized bedrooms. This is one of them. And this is another one of them. And I don't think it's been a terribly long time since these rooms have been in service. I got a feeling this had wallpaper on it and a closet. There's another good sized room right here. It's got a closet, some kind of flue scuttle hole, you know. I don't know what the gig is, but we'll find out for sure at some point. Right now, these rooms are going to be cleaned up, painted, and used for storage. Now, this room over here, I have designs for this room. This is totally unfinished, obviously. It is truly a nice room, very, very high, access to the roof. I envision turning this into my office. I would like to open up this ceiling, maybe put a little loft up there, but this would be a very generous office space for myself. I would be very, very happy up here. 2 windows, get a little cross ventilation. I'll put a Split, a mini split in here for heat and AC. Fabulous view of the surrounding area. Apparently the gas man's here. I guess I'll go see what he's doing and pause this for a minute. And then I'll show you the last space in the house, which is the basement. And that is downright scary. Well, the time it took me to walk from upstairs to downstairs, I missed the gas man, but I still have a gas connection. So that's a beautiful thing. I tell you what, definitely gonna need a riding lawnmower for this place. This ain't no shorty. Nice light fixture on the front porch. I missed that on the way in. Okay, let's get on to the dungeon, man. Let's go see the dungeon, baby, because it is nasty down here. Nasty, nasty, nasty. I would venture to guess there might be a critter or two taking up residence in this here basement. But moving day is close at hand for those people, or those animals, I should say. We'll be cleaning this up starting tomorrow. If it ain't bolted in here, I'm probably gonna throw it out. Yeah, we got animal traps. That's always a good sign, right? It's a nasty old space. The walls, the foundation's fairly solid. It's just that it's not in good shape. All of this paint that's on it is going to have to be cleaned off. And then we're going to need to apply almost like with paint, we call it a grip or an adhesive. And then we're going to podge all of these walls. I need to spray foam all the ends of the joists, floor joist bays. There's just a lot of work. This basement is butt ugly. And I gotta have a decent spot, I don't think it's not okay with me to have a crappy, and this is somebody else's podge job that has simply just fallen off the walls, so we're gonna have to clean all of that up and seal all of this up, and we will definitely be doing it. A lot of old nasty pipes and an oil tank when we know there's gas, and this is an oil burner. It has a brand new tankless on it. I don't know. We're gonna make it through the winter, I guess, or the year or something, or the foreseeable future with this, and then we'll see what we're gonna do. I gotta replace, I guess, all these basement sashes will need to be replaced with something. Maybe get Hobby Industries to make a custom-made sash. We'll make them fixed. They don't actually need to open, as far as I'm concerned. But see, like great big voids like that up there, that can't stay. Geez, a cat can get through there, for God's sake. That's so big. Oil tank's not that old. Oil tanks run legally, so it's not that old. That oil line is only a few years old because that's current code. So who knows what is what down here. The flue's not that old on this either. We'll get to the bottom of it though. We'll get it cleaned out and so on. This is old gas dryer. I really don't see me wanting this or that rubbish bucket. So we'll be tossing out all of that. This whole thing back here, is that actually the town over coming in with that crazy little setup? Yeah, that will have to be addressed sooner rather than later. That is just one hodgepodge. Oh yeah, nice. Sweating a piece of PEX. Oh my. Oh my. Mamma mia. The wet sink we don't need. Whatever the heck this is, I don't need. I think there used to be a washing machine here. It must have been, right? Because there is electricity, hot and cold. Probably ran. I don't know what they did with the waste. This is old water supply. Breaker panel is fairly new, but undersized for a monstrous house like this, and the wires are dated for sure. This whole piece of craziness is really something wild. That is holding, that piece of wonderfulness right there is holding up the stairs, sitting on a block, sitting on the ground. This is that bulkhead entrance. I'm a little fearful of even going in there. You know, you see all kinds of daylight. Bulkhead's got enough holes that the whole entire Musketeer family could move in. You have to lift up the pipe to get in the door. There's a crawl space of total nastiness back there. We'll get that cleaned up. That is in the kitchen area. So I think the first order of business is going to be to just clean this space up. And we'll tear out the ceilings, tear out the plaster lath that's in the ceiling. Hopefully we won't break anything doing it. Just clean this place up. Wow, this is really something. There's a lot to do down here. You'll be amazed at what I'm able to do down here, though. I will endeavor to make this space, you know, a place you can come down and do a little work, fix a bicycle, store your lawnmower, you know, paint a table or a chair, or whatever, you know, but a decent space that doesn't make your skin crawl when you come down it. The stairs are just, I mean, look at them being held up by blocks of wood and just all kinds of stuff. It's really rough down here, but sorry, I must be sick in the head. I do like it. The PEX seems rather undersized. But the remnants of old knob and tube wiring. We'll make that all disappear. So it is, you know, a little after 3 at the end of day 1. I've owned the place for 3 hours. Hasn't cost me any serious money yet. Tomorrow, the bleeding will start, and we'll get going. I'll need to figure out a plan of attack for my people, and we're gonna get it done, one way or the other.